What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're jumping into it. We're finally doing the Diamond Lynx guide. Now, two things have not happened yet that I was hoping were going to happen. One of them is getting a Diamond Lynx. The other one is making a Diamond Lynx guide. But it seems as though this is going to be the first thing to happen out of those two because we still don't have a Diamond Lynx. But I've been grinding for them for quite a while. I'm going to tell you guys how. I'm going to show you guys hotspots. We'll talk about loadouts and just go over some specifics, some strategies and things like that. Basically anything I can do to help you guys grind for Lynx and get your own Diamond Lynx in the Hunter called WoW. So first things first, let's talk a little bit about loadout. Now, one main thing for the Lynx is you're going to want to have the collar. Now, there's only one collar that you can have for them, and we're going to look at it right now. It is the Predator Jackrabbit collar. It's the only one that works for the Lynx. If I can just find it, scrolling, it's right there, okay? 200-meter range, you're going to want that. It's going to help you a lot. A lot of the times, Lynx in their zones are going to be in the tall grass or in a bush, or sometimes they're just hard to see. This is a very, very useful, very much necessary tool when hunting for the Lynx. So you're going to really want this. This is huge. Another thing you're really going to want and you're going to need, because it is a night hunt, 1900 hours is when they start drinking. It is going to be nighttime. You're going to want the Tech DLC, okay? You're going to want the night vision. I use the Gen 0 night vision rangefinder binoculars, but I do not use the scope. It's completely up to you. If you want to use the scope, there's a night vision scope as well that comes with that DLC. It's in here somewhere. The only reason I don't use it is it's only a 4x zoom. For some reason, I don't know why. I kind of wish it zoomed in the same way as the Hyperion scope does, but it doesn't have very much of a zoom, so it can make it hard to be shooting such a small animal like the Lynx. So I just stick with the normal Hyperion scope. You can use the Argus if that's what you prefer, but yeah, I like the 8x on the Hyperion a lot better than the 4x. So basically I just use the Gen 0 night vision binoculars, spot them, get that spotting outline, bring out my gun that's got the Hyperion on it, and go from there. And you'll see that in the video as well. As far as rifles, you've got a couple choices. You can use the 243 if you want, which is what I use. I like the 243. You can also use the Mosin on the Lynx. You have that option. I prefer the 243. It's completely up to you if you want to use the 243 or the Mosin. One of the main reasons that I do like the 243 specifically on Medved is because there are musk deer and they're class 2, and if you're using the Mosin, you're going to have to carry something else for the musk deer. So you're carrying an extra rifle. If you carry the 243, it covers both the musk deer and the Lynx. So that's something to take into account, but again, it is completely up to you. All right, let's talk about hotspots. We're getting into it quick, baby. This doesn't need to be a 20-minute guide, and it won't be a 20-minute guide. And guys, here is the hotspot map, and you can download this as always with all the guides and with all the hotspot maps. You can download this in my Discord completely for free. They're all in there in the Call of the Wild hotspot maps channel. These are your main hotspots for the Lynx as far as when they're drinking. So you've got the bottom left lakes, all the lakes down there. They can be at those lakes. You're going to have them at some of those lakes. You're not going to have them at some of those lakes. You're going to have to do your check your zones, check your lakes, find your zones. Those kind of top left lakes moving north from the bottom left there. More spots where you might have Lynx drinking. You've got the North Shore. For the North Shore, you're going to want to go to this outpost, or you can have a tent set up here if you want so you can get up closer and just run the entire North Shore and be checking kind of along in the tree line here, okay? You're gonna have Lynx along the tree line. You're gonna have a few zones in there. You're also gonna have some zones where they're just kind of sitting out on the ice. That's gonna be a thing as well. And you're gonna have zones. I would go all the way around. You might have the odd zone. And then right in here, I've had up to 4 zones here. I've only got 1 there now. It seems that if you've got a zone here where there's only 1 Lynx, it does wipe the zone, right? So hopefully those zones come back. The only reason this one's still here is I have 2 Lynx at that zone. So you are going to notice some of your zones, if you've got zones that only have 1 Lynx, as soon as you shoot that Lynx, unfortunately it does wipe the zone. Sometimes they come back, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they'll respawn somewhere. If they don't respawn in the exact same spot, they'll come back somewhere else on the map. So yeah, that's basically it. I had 4 zones here. I had 1 there, there, and there. And now I've just got the 1 because these were all single Lynx, which is kind of an oof, but hopefully they do come back. So, and then we've got these lakes. This is my favorite spot, okay? All of these lakes. And basically what I've done, like if I have 2 zones, I'll have 2 tents, right? This tent is about 250 meters away from that zone, and same with this tent from that zone. So I'll start here, and then I'll work my way over there. This guy will be spooked, but he will come back after I've traveled to this tent, wait for him to come back, shoot him, boom, we're good, and then we move on. So set up your tents accordingly. I like to have a tent right here so that I can go and check all 3 of these lakes from one tent, and then I've got my one tent here because I've got a zone right here for lynx, and that's at least 200 to 250 meters away from any animals. Now, the tents, I always say be at least 200 meters away. Just to be safe, be at least 220. You should be fine from 200, but I would just go, you know, at least 220 just to be safe so that nothing weird is going to happen. You know, this cat could spawn in somewhere over here or something, and then you know, yeah, just be safe. 220 at least. 250 is even better. And then you can set up your tripods and stuff accordingly as well. I like to have a tent right here for these 2 lakes. I've got a tent here for this zone, and et cetera, right? I like to have a tent here so I can go over to both of these lakes if I need to. You can copy my tent setups if you want to. I don't have a tent here any longer because I don't have any lynx zones there. And it's just that simple. Once you start to uncover your zones, you can start to place your tents and your tripods accordingly and get on your grind. These 3 lakes can have male lynx right now as well. So I've got a tent right in the middle, and I've placed it so that it's at least 200 meters from these lakes. And that's pretty much it. All of these spots, you might find lynx at some of these other spots on the right side of the map, but they're going to be females. So if you're grinding just for a rare, go for it. You might get a female rare doing it that way, but if you're grinding for a diamond, if you're looking for the males, this is the way to do it, and that's the hotspot map to refer to for that. Some other little things to go over that are worth noting. So basically, let's see here. As far as fur variations, as far as rare variations, you're looking at piebald, albino, and melanistic. The piebalds look a lot like the commons. Okay, so always shoot the commons and always expect that it might be a piebald. Same with the albino. Like if you're in weird lighting or something, you might not be able to tell that it's an albino. They're so rare. I don't have a single rare Eurasian Lynx, and I still have never seen a 9 legendary. So we're talking about one of the rarest diamonds and one of the rarest rares in the game. So if you do see a 9 legendary, or if you see a rare, take your time. If you lose one, just go back to that area wherever you saw it. It's going to have a zone somewhere in that area, so change it back to drink time. 1900, 1930 is when I set the time for, just to get them into their zones. And just go back to that area and go to all of the possible drink locations in that area, and you should be able to find it. Checking tracks is going to be big. Okay, another really big thing is when I'm looking for the zones initially, sometimes you're not always going to see the lynx. They might be in the tall grass. They might get spooked by something. You might get too close. You might make too much noise. You might have a bad wind in accordance to where their zone is and where they're located, and they might be in tall grass and they might get just spooked. So something that's really good to do is not only look for them at the lakes, but the lakes are small enough you could run around them and look for tracks and find zones that way. I have found a lot of my zones just running and finding the tracks. Basically, I'll kind of glass the lake or the area where I'm looking for them, and if I don't find a zone there, I'll run around the lake and look for the tracks that way as well and look for zones that way. And a lot of the times that's how I get my zones. So that's something you want to be doing as well. Shot placement on these guys is the usual behind the shoulder. You do need a vital on lynx, so you're going for lungs. If you get a frontal facing shot, you can take it. It's usually pretty safe if you're not super far away. The zeroing perk is going to be super handy with lynx, as in with most animals in the game. If you've got the zeroing perk, that'll help. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. We've pretty much covered everything I wanted to cover. We talked about the loadouts. Get your 243 or get the Mosin. It's up to you. The hotspot map is there for you to use for reference. Find your zones, get your tents and your tripods down accordingly, the way that you want to do them, and you should be good to go. 1930 to 2330 is when they're going to be drinking at their zones. Good luck, you guys. Happy hunting. I hope you guys can get a diamond or a rare lynx. I hope this guide helps you. If it does, don't forget to hit the like button. It helps so much. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. I appreciate you guys. We're on the road to 20,000 subs. Thank you guys so much. Be safe, take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one.